co-host and turn this down. However, she never called me, so I guess I was more better than she was. She was afraid I could probably take her job. Harpo production, and she was afraid I was probably gonna take. It's a poor dog that won't wag his own tail. It's a poor dog that won't wag his own tail. Listen, tonight is the Family Life Conference. Pastor Ryan, y'all get the mics for those who might want to. MJ. And whatnot, so we can pass the mic for questions, and those that may want to have questions as we go forward. The theme tonight is Family Matters. Let's talk. And I was looking up tonight because when we're dealing with family, a lot of times, Pastor Kameishia, when we're dealing with family, a lot of people don't want to deal with real issues in families and don't want to confront a lot of stuff. Confrontation is not a bad thing. Right. Confrontation is not a bad thing. Now, it's depend on the mindset in your confrontation. All right. Are you confronting because you want to make your your wrong right? Right. Or you confronting this because I need to find out why you feel the way you feel about me. Amen. And so confronting something is not a bad thing. Right. A lot of times you have to confront it so the thing that you're confronting can know that you have taken its power. Right. I want everybody to hear me good when I say this tonight. Sometimes people do not confront things, and when you don't confront it, you give power to the thing that is confronting you. Amen. That's true. Now this is going to get a little sticky right here because I know we got some old folks in here, some young folks in here, some middle-aged folks in here, some other folks might be on their way coming. So it's going to be a little sticky. It's because a lot of us don't like to deal with things that's been dealing with us. It's because for so long we have dealt with it. And we got familiar with it. We have not just got familiar with it, but we know when it'll pop up. Right. It's like chicken pox. You know when chicken pox come, you know what to look for. Right. You know when measles come, you know what to look for. Amen. Can I tell you something? That if you're afraid to confront certain issue, then you take on the stronghold spirit called hypochondriac. Right. I believe that. Y'all gonna make me work hard tonight. Y'all will be more, but I'm going down there. What is a hypochondriac? Come on.
That takes on somebody else's illnesses.
Someone that takes on what?
Someone
else's illness. Illnesses ain't always a sickness, but it can be also an issue. Right. Some people will study elderware other people's issues and make it become their issue because they see the sympathy and the empathy that they get from other people. Right. Some people don't even have rejection in their life. They just took on the spirit of rejection because they know as long as I operate in this rejection, people think I got rejection, then they'll give me a pass and all the stupidity that I do. Absolutely. Wow. So what happens is you tend to get people frustrated. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I come from a large family. And I have a whole bunch of hypochondriac actors in my family. Listen, my grandmother left this world with all her wounds and everything. One auntie had a hysterectomy and all other 9 followed right on down the suit. Everybody wanted hysterectomy by the time they got 35. My grandma would say, well, what's the problem? And because it's the attention that the first one got. Do you know people with fake illness and fake certain stuff in their lives? You know people with even fake molestations? Yes. People with fake abuse and neglect because they know what it did for cousin them and Pookie them. So what I do is I'm going to start acting that way so I can start getting attention because I miss out being validated. Now can I ask y'all a question? Can I say something? All the time, you know, we say that a lot, Pastor. We say that a lot, Apostle. We say that a lot. But you know, I wasn't validated when I was a kid. Maybe you were, but you just didn't accept it. Okay. Absolutely. I told y'all it's going to be tough tonight. Y'all going to be questioning your toes and cussing in your head when I get through with y'all tonight. I promise you, because for months I've been sitting down talking to God concerning this day. And the Lord told me, he said, there are some things, Juan, that people, there was validation came. They just didn't want that kind of validation. I'm going to give you a clue. Have you ever, parents, heard your child say, well, my friend's family or mom and dad let them do such and such?
Yeah.
That's the first sign they tell you they don't want your validation.
Right.
You know, my friend around the corner, their mama let them stay out until 10 o'clock. What be our response? But I ain't their mama. Their mama ain't your mama. Right? That's a sign psychologically that they're rejecting the validation. Validation is not when I say you're beautiful. Validation is not me just saying it, but me producing your beauty in every moment of my life. Right. If you're my daughter or if you're my son. Why? By saying beautiful things to you. I cannot validate you and say that you're beautiful and call you a bee right after that.
That's right. I
can't validate you and call you beautiful and call you a whore right after that. I can't validate you and call you a slut. Talk about, oh, you just like my mama. That's not, I'm destroying the validation in which I'm trying to create in my child or in an individual. So validation is, I believe, this is me, because I got the microphone. I believe that a lot of us have been validated. We just rejected, ouch, I'm guilty. Rejected it because I didn't like who was validating me.
Okay, right. That's true.
I didn't like the person that was doing the validation because I felt like they didn't know enough.
All right, that's fine.
So how my drunk uncle come tell me I'm a man? You still beating on your wife. You still doing what your dad did to your mama. So I rejected his validation. I rejected my uncles telling me, you a man, you gonna be somebody, you gonna be, and I became almost a nobody because the people that was validating me, even though they was doing it out of love, but what I saw in their own life wasn't validified.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So how can I validate someone into a realm or into a place if myself I am failing?
Right.
Okay, we just bought a watermelon. Somebody even say watermelon.
Watermelon.
Saturday we went to Walmart and bought a watermelon. So my sister and them, they plucked each watermelon. Now I don't know what they do, but they say they make you know if they want to slap it, pluck it, whatever, you know. So but watch this, Pastor Tracy. They plucked the watermelon, and my sister said, and my neighbor said, oh, this is a good one. They slapped several watermelons, plucked them, and said, this is a good one, until we got home.
What happened, sir?
Stuck the knife in the center of the watermelon.
My God.
Y'all ready?
Yeah.
How about when they opened up the watermelon, it was just so soft and smushy on the inside? Because here's the key. Y'all ready for it? Here's the key. Here's the key. The front row. A lot of times, people you look good on the outside, but you're so messed up on the inside. And won't nobody know how messed up you are on the inside. Are y'all paying attention to me? Or are y'all watching them? Nobody gonna know how messed up you are on the inside until somebody cut you open.
That's right.
See, watch this. Are you ready for it? To validate you is for me to cut you open so that I can find out what's really on the inside of you and I take care of it in the dark room so that when you go to the light, won't nobody know that you had a malfunction.
That's right. That's good.
Okay, all right. Y'all still give me your minds one day. Watch this. I wrote something, and maybe some of y'all didn't catch it. I did catch it. I wrote something, Elder Ware. I said, a funeral director job is to make you look good at the end.
Right. Yeah, I saw that.
A funeral director job, a good funeral director job, makes you look good at your end. All right, so we just left from Chicago, and we was in the house of a black mortician, and he, out of 750 miles square radius, he's the first and the only black mortician in this big mortician country thing, wherever, you know, that stuff. Right, the funeral home. And now he's making big bank, $107 an hour. I think I'm in the wrong field, Pastor Tracy. $107 an hour, dead folks are very important. Are y'all missing what I'm saying? Dead folks are very important. Guess what? But you're more valuable alive, but you're important to somebody that don't have an income because you give them an income when you die before your time. So he showed us pictures of people that he had to refabricate and fix. And I sat there and I looked at that book. I said, boy, you sit here and deal with all these dead bodies and you make them back up again. I said, so your job as a mortician is to make somebody's end look good. Well, preachers, our job is the same job as a mortician. Our job is to make folks look good even before they die. I can't get nobody to say nothing like that. Our job as pastors can't do that because you're dealing with an issue called family matters. Not the theme of the conference, family matters, marriage matters. We're talking about the matters that's in the families and the hearts that have caused you to have to wait until a mortician can fix you, and not when the preacher can. Oh, the thing got quiet in here. We still stuck on the fact that my mama made me for a man that, and I don't know his name. Get over it, Mary Jane.
Amen.
I'm still dealing with the fact that my grandpapa, when I said that, I'm talking corporately, because my granddad ain't never touched me. He protected me. He didn't touch me. I had good grandparents.
Right.
But we're dealing with the fact that grandpapa slept with you when you was a little girl. Get over it, Martha. Because everything that have happened to you in your life was necessary.
Right.
It was important and imperative that it happened because you was going to come in contact with somebody that need to hear your testimony. And the problem is you have lost the ability to be valued in the abuse and devalue yourself in your abuse, that you never allow somebody to praise you to be a survivor. They always just empathize you and sympathize with you as being a victim.
Right.
Can I ask y'all, when we going to graduate from being victims and become survivors? Come on, when we going to stop? When we going to stop being victims and become survivors? So what? Who else in here that been raped and molested beside me? Who else in here that been dropped and left and the mom and daddy didn't know? You know who your mom and you know who your mamas are. Half of us don't know who our daddies are, but those that do know your daddies was. Then you looked at him and said, "You really is," because you sure act like you. Come on, it's more than me. It's more than me. How many of you been victimized by family and friends in the family? How many of you been victimized by society? How many of you been victimized by? Okay, all this happened before you came into the knowledge of Christ.
Right, that's right.
A lot of this stuff happened to us before we came into the knowledge of Christ. Why do we blame the church for every bad thing that's wrong in your life? Why do the church have to suffer the end result of your beginning result when the church had nothing to do with it? The church is in the chaotic mode that it is today because it started at the cradle of your life.
God.
Dr. John Ellsworth wrote a statement in his psychological studies. He says a man would only be what his mama made him to be.
That's right. Yeah.
Then the next statement of psychology simply says that the hand that rocked the cradle, y'all know it, rules the world. So watch this. We're blaming the church and blaming communities and penal system, when actuality the malfunction started in the family. It starts in the family. The Bible says, Bishop, he says that the sin of our fathers goes up to 4 generations. Now, I know there's people that say, well, because Christ died on the cross, the curse has been wiped away. Well, the curse has been wiped away for those that know the Lord. That comes into the knowledge of Christ. But if you don't come into the knowledge of Christ, the curse is evident in your life. The curse, ladies and gentlemen, is evidence in your life. But you got to come into the knowledge of Christ, which is what Paul told the Roman church. Am I talking good? He said in the Roman church, he said, if a man confess with his mouth and believe with his heart and do what? Accept the Lord Jesus Christ, that thou art saved. Am I right? Am I right? You're saved. Then after what the mouth makes confession, the heart may believe into righteousness, right? So when we come into the knowledge of Christ, everything that our mamas and daddies have imposed upon us is now under the blood.
Yes.
That's right.
And you now become a curse breaker.
All right.
And so the curse should not follow you till your children. Not when you come into the knowledge of Christ. The only way that the curse of your mothers and fathers and fathers' fathers and mothers' mothers is become evident in your life is when you fail to embrace that you are available to break the curse.
Yes.
Come on, I want somebody in here tonight to say before Pastor start talking, I want you to open up your mouth and say, I am a curse breaker. Let me say this to you. My daddy was a child molester. I come from a jacked up situation.
That's all right.
But I refuse to get around and molest somebody else's child. I was a victim of, or I don't care what I'm a product of, that's not going to be me, because I have a right to my own future. So the matters that's going on in families and the matters that's going on in every individual life today, you have the power to destroy that thing. You know why Pastor Murray's son don't destroy it? Because it brings me to a place of getting my way. But y'all, I'm about to say something that's going to hurt a lot of people's feelings in here. Your issue have no more value after this conference. Ooh, ain't nobody going to let me tonight. Your issue have no more value after tonight. Okay, Bishop, you know why? Because now you come into knowledge and you have confessed that I'm a curse breaker.
Right.
So if you're a curse breaker, then you have the power to break the curse that's on your life that was passed on you from generation to generation.
Yes, sir.
So if the church is going to be effective, or if families is going to be effective, the church will be no more, let me say it this way, the church will be no more healthy, Pastor Tracy and Bishop, Apostle Howard, Pastor Murray, Pastor Kameishia, the church will be no more healthier than our families are going to be healthy.
All right.
So we now have to spend quality time healing our families.
Yes.
And here is the next struggle in healing the families, especially with those of us that have mixed family. Blending family, thank you. Blending families.
Absolutely.
Because now we have two folds. Can I use y'all? Can I use y'all? Okay, woman of God have hers, bishop have his. But watch this. One set of DNA, another set of DNAs. But we still got to bring them together.
Right.
And we have to crush the power of the DNA.
Amen.
We got to crush the power of the DNA.
Right.
So that we can become unified.
Yes.
And it's not a hard thing. Pastor Ryan have RJ and Terrion and Armani. Him and Sister Tiffany got to crush the DNA of Armani's father and the DNA of Kim and that other woman.
Right.
She got to crush that. Watch it, okay? You gotta watch this. Tiffany got to crush the DNA of those other mamas. Because she's now in the throne of the motherhood to the father. Ryan got to crush the DNA of Armani's daddy. Because when you blend families, the families you blend with, the parents you blend with, have to stand up and become now the curse breaker and break the curse of the other exited parent. And if you don't do that, it's going to be malfunctioning in the family. Because you got sis kids saying, well, Bishop, you raised your kid, you ain't my, listen, I'm telling you what I know because I had a stepdaddy. I gave that booger a run for his money. You hear me? I gave him a run for his money. His name was Joe. Everybody call him Daddy to this day. He's dead and gone. I preach his funeral. They still call him Daddy. I still call him Joe.
All right.
Because I had a problem with this man taking my daddy's position. Because my mother didn't know how to destroy the DNA of the father that she made with me.
All right.
And because of that, every man that came in my mother's life, which is not many, that came into my mother's life had to have a confrontation with me.
Right.
I'm not talking to y'all in something I don't know. I hated him. I thought about how I can kill him in the middle of the night and get away with it and just tell God he died. You understand? I thought of those things. But I had to get to a place in my adulthood when I became a preacher to find out that my stepdad was taking all my tapes and listening to him in his car going to work, and all of his co-workers on the construction, building roads and bridges, would listen to my tape everywhere. And I was preaching in the city of New Orleans, and one man said, I've been hearing you. I've been waiting for you to come to hear you in person. Man, I hear you every morning heading to the site. I said, what you mean? He said, your daddy got all your tapes. Wait a minute, y'all missed what I just said. He said, your dad got all your tapes in the car. He never identified that was my stepfather. Because my daddy, Joe, as my stepdad, took on the father of daddyhood, and he started validating me in the public of other people, but he failed to validate me directly to me.
Wow.
And I never forget, at 8 years old, he called me a faggot. And from that moment, I could never forgive him.
Right.
So I became bitter, I became angry, I became frustrated, because he said, look how y'all looking at me.
Come on, sir.
That word demolished me so that I made hatred take his place.
All right.
And I went through life and I walked out of mama's house. I, 13 years old, started doing what I wanted to do. That was not from the sake of the church. The church didn't do that to me.
Right.
That happened in the family.
Yeah.
The abuse that happened to me. Those 17 stitches on the outside. And all those stitches on the inside. That didn't happen from the church.
All right. On the family.
That happened from family.
Yeah.
And then when I did got tampered with in the church, that spirit was familiar with what family was already doing.
All right.
Okay, the Bible says in the book of Jude, be careful of those men that creeps in there.
Yes.
We have to stop blaming the church for everything that's happened because the enemy already know that the church is the hospital. So what he does is he sends infiltrators inside the church, set them up in camp in the church so that he can start contaminating us and messing us up so badly so that when we get to a place then we start blaming the church and whatever you accuse, you can't be healed from it.
That's right.
Whatever you blame a thing, that thing can't heal you until you start forgiving that thing.
Right.
If you blame the husband for the loss of that child, and I've seen it happen, you stress that woman out till she had a miscarriage, and now you're trying to make another baby and she cannot get pregnant. Because emotionally she's holding unforgiveness in her heart towards you. There is women I know that have not been on birth control pills, sleeping with their husbands and still can't get pregnant. Nothing wrong with either one of them, but the heart is unforgiveness. So she started ovulating at the wrong time. Or won't ovulate at all. Same way in the kingdom. Same way in the kingdom. We can't even get you to spiritually ovulate in the kingdom to be impregnated with God's word because you're angry with the pastor because the pastor reminds you of your daddy, reminds you of your husband, reminds you of that man that broke your heart, or that woman pastor reminds you of that woman that was authoritative in your family. And you're angry, you're bitter, and you're mad with her. So therefore that pastor, male or female, cannot be effective in your life. Because you are at a place of unforgiveness. Unforgiveness at home will always take unforgiveness everywhere.
Right.
Unforgiveness in your beginning will be an unforgiveness in your end. And for their case, you're always going to need two people in your life, a mortician or a preacher. Because their job is to fix you. So that you won't look like you were when you was alive. Okay, you don't believe me? Except a grain of seed fall to the ground and die. The Bible said it abideth alone. Can I tell you something? You know why some of us can't be healed in this moment? Because we refrain to die from the DNA in which we was developing. I know it's tough cooking. I know it's a tough cooking. I know it's tough. But I had to learn, Elder Ware, that if I'm going to be successful in ministry, I had to die to that family that I knew.
Come on now.
Because the scripture says, who be my mother?
That's right.
Who be my father? Them that do the will of God. Listen, our family's going to get saved. But those of y'all in here, you got to get so caught up in God and in tune and in sync with God that when you get to that place of deliverance or the place where God get glory out of your life, family members will start coming. You know why some family members are not coming? Because they don't see the glory of God yet. They need to see the glory. Well, I think that, no, they haven't seen it yet. They've seen the manifestation of your salvation. They haven't seen the glory of God yet. Because according to Isaiah 54, and I'm going to give it to Sister Phyllis, and she's going to read this, and then Sister's going to go ahead and do whatever she needs to say, and then we're going to open up this forum, because I really want you to get to this place to know that church is important.
Amen.
Y'all hear me say that?
Church is important.
Just like the jailhouse is important. We need the jailhouse. Whether I don't care how much y'all want to shut the jailhouse down, we need that jailhouse. Because there is some folks that need to be behind there.
That's right.
They need to be behind there, because if they're not, they're going to run ravage in your communities. But we need the church. But we also need our family.
Yes, we do.
Now watch this. How many of y'all believe that family does matter?
It does matter.
And so, listen, if family matters, then sometimes we got to come out of that place and get the glory of God in our life, and then go back into that place and let the glory of God be seen so family members can be set free. Harriet Tubman showed us that very well. She brought thousands out of slavery. What did she do? She went got free first. And she learned the path on what freedom is. And she learned the underground work.
That's right.
And then she came back and showed many the way. But she wrote a quote that Pastor Murray said one time in his preaching. What was it you said? She said,
freed more slaves if had they known that they
God bless you, America. She said, I could have freed more if they only knew.
Come on now. Wow.
Today, Pastor Tracy, Bishop, Apostle, Pastor Murray, myself, all of us leaders, we can free more of y'all if y'all know that y'all free.
Right.
More of y'all can be free out of the bondage of sin. If you wouldn't know, I am free. I don't have to stay in this world. Watch it. Isaiah 54. 54. And I want to do 53 and 1. Quickly. Well, I'll get it right. You said 54. You said 54. You say at 54. I'll get 53. Who had believed our report? And to whom is the arm of the Lord revealed? I need to tell somebody, I got a report over my life. And it's called V-I-C-T-O-R-Y.
V-I-C-T-O-R-Y.
Y'all didn't respond good enough. See, some of y'all like the defeat spirit. Y'all like that, but I rebuke that foul spirit in the name of Jesus. Guess what? I have a report over my life. Honey, I got victory in spite of defeat. Because the word of the Lord said, I am free to be me. And being me is being victorious. Oh, come on, somebody. Encourage somebody. Tell them. Say, look, let's go ahead and smile. You are victorious. Now, 54, Isaiah 54 says, single barrel land.
Thou that didst break forth into singing.
Look, break forth into singing. Watch this. You got to remember, you got a report over your head. Tell you, I got a report over my head. So it's time for me to sing and to break out in a dance. Because watch this. This report that's over my head is better than that DNA that's in my system. I ain't going to get nobody to talk real good to me right about now. Tell your neighbor, say, the report that I have over my head is better than this DNA that's in my bloodstream. Because some of that DNA that I got in my bloodstream, my mom and daddy didn't know how free they were. So they had me in bondage, but I got a report over my head. Come on.
Break forth into singing,
Uh-huh.
and cry aloud. And thou didst not travail with child.
Right.
For more are the children of the desolate than the children of the married wife, said the Lord. Enlarge the place of thy
In other words, there's a lot of trouble going on with folks. We got a lot of stuff going on. If there was one person, a group of people that are barren, because there's some stuff that you're afraid. Can I say this, Pastor Tracy? Some women are afraid to bear children because of what they've seen.
Yes, that's true.
But today, I need some women today to lift up their right hand and stomp their left foot and say, the devil is a lie. Are you hearing me? Because you are a powerful vessel. Come on, read.
Enlarge the place of thy tent.
I watch this. Okay, now you got the report. When the report of God is over your life, you got to enlarge your tent.
All right.
Come on, tell somebody, I'm going to enlarge my tent. And you know why God wants to enlarge our tent, Bishop? Because the mere fact that there are some people that you're going to have to adopt into your motherhood and your fatherhood. There's some people that you're going to bring in and be your say, God, I'm so glad you my sis. You my for real sis. You hear me? I will fight for this girl right here. Do you hear me? The James girl, I will fight. I told Andrea, I said, listen, Andrea, I said, I don't pick my own family.
That's right.
And I'm very comfortable with the family that I don't pick.
That's right.
See, some folks don't want to pick families, but you know, I got to go on with your man, so you go on, just go on. See, he told us to enlarge our tent. Why would we enlarge our tent? Because God has got a report over your life, and if the report of victory is over your life, then there's going to be some defeated people that's going to come in your life that you're going to have to teach them victory.
Yes.
Then that's what Jabez did. He said, Lord, don't you know that man had a whole bunch of trouble? They only talked about him for a small, short period of time in the Bible. But tell somebody, say, my short period, conversation that the enemy had about me is going to make my name known for eternity. Y'all got quiet. Y'all put the video here. I don't think some of y'all can't get here. Look at your neighbor, say, my story is for eternity. Listen, I'll say something on my Facebook. You have eternity. Yeah, I'm telling you it will be. Because why? Elisha said, where is the God of Elijah? Because Elijah, God went through eternity. Don't you know Elijah never died, girl? So I'm trying to get fellas, you ain't got to die. Elijah never died. Why are you living to die? Elijah never died. Come on, America. Elijah never died. The Bible said he transitioned. Enoch never saw death. I'm living not to see that, but I'm living for the glory of God to make death be obsolete. Come on, I'm trying to get somebody to, I'm trying to think you should. I'm trying to get somebody. I'm trying to get somebody to stop looking for death. Come on, and get life. Bible said, watch this. My brother back there. Bible said that Enoch and Elijah's faith was so powerful that God allowed them to step out of, listen, they stepped from earth into eternity. That book ain't saw no death, they ain't saw no funeral, they ain't saw no mortician. They didn't even see a preacher. Look at your neighbor and say, you ain't got to settle for no mortician. You can sit in your eternal faith. Come on. It's time to sit in your eternal faith. Did y'all hear what I just said to y'all? I had my thing in the freezer at the time. He trying to get you to your eternal faith. See, I love the Lord. For real. I don't play this church thing. I don't lie for God. And I don't want families to be stuck and broke, busted, and disgusted and thinking, listen, why should you die when others are being healed? Why should you be sick when others are being made whole? We have eternal hope. Because we're the incorruptible seed that shall never perish. So it's in the freezer. So it's important. It's important that you come into your eternal, your incorruptible seed. Come on, tell your neighbors I'm an incorruptible seed. Now I'm going to move this thing on real quick. Come on, go to the 13th verse because I'm letting the baby talk.
And all thy children shall be taught of the Lord.
Well, okay, all right. Every mama and daddy in here is a cane. It's a spring. Whatever it is in the top freezing. He says, watch this. He simply says this. That I am going to bring your seeds to be well taught of me. Read it again.
And all thy children shall be taught of the Lord. And great shall be the peace of thy children.
Read that again.
And all the children shall be taught of the Lord.
All the children shall be taught of the Lord.
And great shall be the peace of thy children.
And great, okay. Why are we crying over these kids? If you give God your life, great shall be the peace of your children. All right, mamas and daddies, go to sleep tonight. Go to sleep tonight and let God work that testimony in that book. Because if God called you and you gave your life to God, God's not going to have your heart bleeding over no child. Go to sleep tonight. And if God don't sleep and slumber, why we both got to stay up? That's a good one.
That's right.
Amen. Apostle on fire over here. Listen, tonight we gonna talk about some real stuff. Amen. Apostle done got us crunk in here. We want to open this floor for any questions that anybody have right here, and we're gonna keep on moving.
And remember, this is the no judge.
No judge.
No judge.
No judge zone. No judge zone.
Amen. Praise the Lord, everyone. My question is this: how can you be holy and horny?
Well, first and foremost, it is the natural. Sexuality is a part of the human beings.
Right.
Sexuality is a part of human beings, unless you're unique. And then took your nature away from it. It's a part of us, and it's very imperative that we respond to it. Because if we fail to respond to it, watch this. I didn't say manifest, I said respond. Respond to it, because when you do come into a relationship, if you have not responded in a while to it, it's going to have a problem when you need to respond. So you can be saved, and you can be sanctified, and you can be holy, and your nature still rises.
Right.
Trust me, it wakes me up every morning. God bless America.
Amen.
Y'all quiet, but it's the gospel truth. In every man in this room, every woman in this room, your nature bothers you.
Yeah.
Just because you say doesn't mean you can't be sensual.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Can you elaborate on the response?
The elaboration of the response simply means allowing your mind to understand it's here.
That's right.
This is the part of me.
That's right.
I'm supposed to be this way. This is nothing strange. What is strange sexually is when we put two men together and two women together.
Absolutely.
That's right.
What is strange is when we stand up and we validate it by putting our anointed hands on them and saying that it's right. But you know what's the strange part beyond that? Is when we ourselves as leaders are struggling with that and we lay hands on these people. And now they become what we are and they never had no desires in that.
Right.
So our problem that being is we got too many people that's saved and horny and they don't know how to control their sexual appetite. So what they do, they evolve their sexual appetite in such a way that it causes a problem in their assignments.
Okay.
Good.
And their marriages. Their marriages. Because we have people, believe it or not, in 32 years of me preaching and 31 years of me pastoring, I pastored more men, counsel more men that tell me that when they're there with their mate, they're not thinking about her. And I've had women that say they don't think about their mate, and that is a problem. Right. Because now you're giving birth, and when the child is developed, there is a rejection on both ends. So now that child is formed up in the spirit of rejection from mama and daddy. Because they lost interest with one another. I told you I was getting ready to be wrong, but some of y'all don't want this talk.
I know a lot of people say responding to it is through masturbation.
And that's I'm ready to talk. Now watch this. Even that is wrong because why? To masturbate, the Bible said, cast down every imagination and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of Christ. See how y'all quiet? Y'all so funny. We struggle with this right here in these churches. We struggle with that. And we got to break the fold of this stuff that we struggle with. God did not call us to do those things because some takes on wicked imaginations to do those things.
Right.
And one of my biggest struggles was for God to deliver me from that spirit because my mind went crazy even after I stopped having sex and I was in church. My mind went crazy. So I was called self-satisfying myself and still trying to be anointed and it wouldn't work because what I would do is pass a perverted spirit onto folks when I was ministering. If we're going to be real, let's be real. We folks, and that's what, I know we have RJ in here and we have but it's RJ. But let me tell you something. These children need to hear this because how old are you now, RJ? You 12 years old, I was on the streets at 13, prostituting. Y'all stop talking about what these children don't need to know. Some of these children know more than some of us. These kids know more than some of us. They can teach you how to keep your husband and wife. Yeah, they can teach you some stuff. I know y'all don't like that. I know. That's why some of these teenagers
Look at them cell phones.
Yeah. Some of these teenagers are walking the streets right now taking some of your husbands.
That's right.
Yeah. They're out there doing what they're doing. And they're doing a better job. They got an I don't care spirit. I have one question. Somebody have a question? Okay.
Next question, please. Good questions now. Don't y'all be ashamed tonight. That's why we here.
Well, I had a question somebody texted me with. The problem in my marriage. How can my marriage be healed if one partner is saved and the other one isn't? Here's a good question. This is my answer to this individual. If, and I know they're probably watching, if you were saved and you met this man and he wasn't saved, you have to now wait for him to become saved.
Right. That's it.
The Bible says sanctified wife can sanctify the husband. Now you got into that unequally yoked situation. So now you have to wait until the process of him getting to that place because you brought yourself into this covenant. Now, if likewise, if it's the woman, then that man have to keep himself saved. and wait until she can get to that realm of deliverance. Now, what if that marriage is both of us saved, but my faith isn't where your faith is?
Oh, okay.
What do I do, Pastor Juan? My faith is there, but my mate faith isn't there. Well, your job is to keep your faith there, but now you must pray, not intimidate, not frustrate, not try to be arrogant towards the lesser faith person. You got to now pray for their faith to come alive. And how you pray for their mind to receive faith, because what do faith come by? Hearing, and hearing the word of God, right? So you have to now be more word-based than just be carnal. Because if his faith isn't there, or her faith isn't there, yours is, your job as the faithful one is to make sure her or him, his faith increase.
That's right.
And if it never does, you are bound to that.
That's right, man.
That's anything in marriage. When one is higher than the other one, that person never comes down, the other person has to come up.
Okay.
Yes.
That's in any part. If your faith is higher than your partner, you don't bring yours down, that person needs to come up. If your prayer life, anything, even your sex drive, let's just keep it real. You don't come down, the other person has to come up.
That's right.
Any more questions?
Don't be scared now.
All right, so you said something earlier, Apostle. You said that sometimes you have to be confrontational in order to, to get respect and let them know, hey, I'm standing here, I'm not moving. One thing I have a big problem with confrontation. I have two ladies in my life that they're the only ones that can really push me to that limit. And just recently something took place. In fact, she bumped into me on purpose. And so it was told to me years ago that my biological father used to beat on my mom. So I felt like that was one spirit in me that wanted to control me and make me, lose it whenever somebody, took me off or pushed me and made me feel like I'm a punk or whatever. Mainly women, right? So I'm fighting that spirit. So I'm like, no, I can't do that. I don't want to be a woman beater because that's not what God called me to be.
Amen.
But confronting, my question is, how can I confront people like that without being violent? Because I don't ever want to get to that place. I'm afraid I'm going to go to jail and I can't raise my son and all that stuff. But I really be angry and I want them to stop doing what they're doing to me, but then I don't know how to do it without being physically confrontational.
Well, this is the first thing you have to do is you have to take authority. You have to take authority over everything that is not godly in your life. Because if you don't take authority of what's in your life is going to attract what's not in your life to come to your life.
Wow.
So if that spirit with me, cussing is one of mine. And going to sleep at night thinking about somebody do me something, that's why I don't like people to get in. I build walls so people don't get on this side of this wall because, and that wall is my mechanism of defense to keep me from going there until I can get free. And then there's just some things that's going to be in my thorn, that's in my side until God coming home and to keep me on the altar. Now, if that be one of those things, then I have to make sure that walls stay there. I don't want you to build a wall because I built my wall knowing how to deal with my wall. Some people don't know how to deal with their walls. So when people talk to me about you need to tear that wall down, no, you need to be quiet because you don't know why my wall is up. I have this assignment to build this wall up, and because it's there, I need to leave it right where it is. I'm not going to tell you to build a wall, but I'll tell you to confront the thing that's in you first. Because if you only, spirits are kindred. They will connect themselves to you. We bring forth seeds of our own kind. And as long as the earth remains, there's going to be seed time and harvest. That's just not for finances. That's also for spirits. So if you don't take control of what's in you, you can always attract. And this is one of the things that you're taking control. That when that thing pops up, that it doesn't bother you anymore. And when it doesn't bother you anymore, that person that's bothering you will stop bothering you. Because now they see that they lost. See, spirits doesn't fight people that they conquer. They only fight people that they're conquering. Because once they've conquered them, then they leave you alone. There's two ways spirit leaves you alone. By conquering you and taking possession of you, or because you have defeated it and it has to go. Goliath defeated Israel and punked Israel for so long until David came. And when David came, he destroyed Goliath. and took Goliath's head and went after Goliath's other brothers.
Right.
Right? So, and the Bible said the fear went out in the land because of David. And because of that, the giants didn't come right away to fight Israel anymore. They came back, but not right away.
Right.
So, and the reason why I say not, they came back, but not right away, because the enemy is going to always reconquer, recharge itself to come back at you and find new ways. But you got to always make sure that you pull down the stronghold and do what Paul told the Ephesians church. Put on the whole armor of God.
Right.
For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principality and power, spiritual wickedness, rulers of darkness. In this, we got to put on the whole armor. Even me beyond that wall, I have to put the whole armor of God. Just in case, if the enemy get beyond that wall, I need to know how to respond.
That's the spiritual side of it. The natural side is you got to walk away.
Yeah.
You got to stay calm. My son, one of my sons, is going through that same thing. I don't like to say he has a generational curse because his dad was violent, and I see it, the tendency in my youngest son, especially since he's been dating, and he's easy to just fly off, and he gets so upset, and I'm like the next thing he get ready to swing, and I don't want him to do that. Right. But I had to explain to him that you're not fighting her. It's not her you're fighting. It's the spirit. And you're fighting to protect your manhood. That's what you're fighting. That's why you get so upset, because you're trying to let her know I ain't no punk. Right. I may not be where you want me to be right now, and I may not be on top of my A game right now, but I ain't no punk. You know what I'm saying? Right. So he's fighting to show her, you know, I'm a man. But you don't have to do that. Okay?
And that's piggyback. A lot of men do retaliate when their manhood is being tested, especially in their home. Because the home is a place that manhood should never be tested. At home, that manhood should never be tested at home. If you make $5 and you make $50,
that's right.
you should still believe that, listen, when we come together, we still got $55.
That's right.
Y'all didn't hear what I just said? Some of y'all women say nothing yet. Y'all ain't say nothing yet. If that man make $5 an hour and you make 50, you tell that book every time he come home and lay on the pillow, we made $55 an hour today. And you make him feel like he's a man. Because if you say shoot, somebody gonna say, here, keep reading. Now you ain't got to be real. Some of your brothers should have smiled at me in this room, because it's the truth. When a man who is tested at home, he's going to become violent. He's going to become belligerent. Because he's going to stand up. He's going to stick his chest out and say, hold up, I got some grits on this chest over here. You know, I got some hair over here. You know. So you never want to test women. You never want to test a manhood at home.
That's right.
Not in his house. A man don't want to be tested in his house, because that's his rest haven. That's the place where he know he's a king when he ain't no king nowhere else. That's the place where he know that he can develop prince and princesses when he can't develop them nowhere else. That's where he know he's the boss when he know he's nothing but a slave when he gets on that job. So you don't never want to destroy that man. And guess what? If that man is not working, and you got the rights to work, and he's willing to be a stay-at-home mom for this moment, you don't crush that man because he's a stay-at-home mom. Because there's some men that will walk away and make you hire a babysitter, and you'll bring to your house a whole other woman and make some more babies. But if he want to just stay home with you and clean the house and do all kind of good stuff, you don't crush that man.
No, you don't.
You don't crush that man. You hold that man up real good. And when your families and everybody start talking about your man, you tell them, where's yours? Where's yours, Martha? Where is yours? Don't talk about this one over here, because I know what kind of Peter I got over here, but I don't know what kind of shim you got at your house. Hello? Because see, let me tell you something. You marry him for better or for worse, sickness and in health, rich or poor, until what? That's a vow you made to that man. And it's the same way with the men. If you got to work 2 jobs, like my grandmama say, with your head down and your butt up in the air, when that man get home, you supposed to have that food cooked.
That's right.
You supposed to have that house clean.
And you clean.
Come on, if you at home all day, that man need a full meal. You got to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. That man got to be at work for 6, 4:30. You need to be up cooking that man his breakfast so he can eat, and his lunch, a whole cooked meal. And y'all quiet on me, women. Pastor Murray, brother back there, ain't not one woman saying too much enough right about there.
I said amen.
Yes, y'all did. I'm sorry. Come on, if that man go to work.
But you didn't say if you home all day.
Yeah, if you're home, that's right. If you're home all day. Now, but Pastor, now watch this. If you ain't home all day, you got a job. If you gotta be at that job at 8 o'clock and that man gotta be at that job at 6, you need to get your body up at 4:45. And make sure my breakfast is done. And unless you're cooking my food at night. Before you go to bed.
Y'all did know how they did it. I can tell you how they did it.
Somebody else got to tell me.
Come on.
I ain't at home, but I'm just saying, I kind of beg to differ with that, just a 10.
Come on.
Because just because, when you have children, just because you at home all day, don't mean you ain't doing nothing. And you got time to make breakfast, lunch, dinner, cook, clean, paint the wall, and all that.
All right, now here come the argument. I love it. Here come my table discussion at the restaurant.
Having kids and house chores, that is a job in itself.
Yes,
That don't
it is.
mean that you at home watching Jerry Springer.
I agree with you.
But
I piggyback with my wife.
Come on, I got something for y'all.
Because I'm a married man.
Amen.
And happily married man. We don't live in the Stone Ages anymore. And so there isn't a written rule book for how every house should be
I was just
conducted.
going to say that.
And so there's a balance to it, to where sometimes you say, baby, can you take that out? Sure.
That's right.
Or can you cut the oven on?
Amen.
Sure, you cut the oven off. Or tonight, baby, you on your own. Because I'm working a double. You know, and so I need you to get MJ when you get off work. And it's a balance. I said, well, you know, it's okay. And then sometimes it's a split. Well, you know what? I'm going to do 3 days this week because I'm in my peak season. So we're not in the Stone Ages where, you know, the woman had to be like Big Mama and you got to work, you got to take, because Big Mama
Watch
killed
out,
herself.
watch out.
Because Big Mama and them killed themselves. Can I finish? We on TV. Big Mama and them killed themselves. They didn't say a lot, but they heard it.
Right.
Because even though they was doing it, they was wore out spiritually, mentally, and emotionally.
That's right.
And Paw walked over Big Mama.
Yes.
Beat her in most of the cases that you know of. The kid ran off and left. So yes, she was strong. But we're not in the Stone Ages. And so with today's men, you learn how can I be the balance to what my queen, you know what I'm saying, is not able. So she don't have to overdo. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So she don't have to overdo and he don't have to overdo. But we can meet in the middle. It's not I'm working in the field and then you take care of that. No, you know, so I just believe that there should be a balance in any household and you have to figure out what works for your home. Because watch this. It wasn't until I moved to the South that I found out that the men cook. I mean, so many brothers, I said, well, we've been doing it wrong on the West Coast. These brothers on the South got wives that he said, no, I taught her how to cook. I said, what? Now, mind you, I can't cook. And I got in the kitchen and I have cooked. But on the West Coast, the women cook. Oh, we don't eat noodles and noodles. On the South, these jokers can burn. My father's one of them. So if he had a wife, it's going to be hard for her to keep us. If you just do the cooking, I'm going to figure out how else maybe I can paint good or something. So I think that even that plays a toll in knowing what you're good at. Because I have buddies say, no, I do the cooking because she horrible at it.
Right.
So then what do you do if she just, it's not that she don't want to learn, she can't cook. You know, so that's where that balance comes into play.
Before you go there, I know I'm a cooker, so me and my wife gonna be naked in the kitchen cooking. Now watch this. Let me say this. When I made the statements as a wife to do her cooking and whatnot, and I was talking about this man that is working and she's staying at home. And yes, because if I was married, I don't want my wife to work. That's me. I want my wife not to work. I want my wife to be always ready when I say we get on the plane and we going to New York and shop. We going to Paris and shop. That's just me. That's why I'm not married, because I can't do that. So therefore, that's just me. That's my theory, not yours. That's me. But now, by the kitchen, by the moment I said earlier, I agree with Pastor Murray and Lady Andrew, because we're not in the Stone Age, David. But we have men, young men today that don't know how to cook.
That's true.
So if that young man that don't know how to cook and he married that girl to cook because that's what he married, then there is a responsibility for that woman to make sure that that man's belly is full. Because if she don't, another woman will. Because how many men in here that really do know how to cook? You know. Let me say this: today's society of young men. There's some young men that don't know how to cook. But they will marry a woman that do know how to cook. Because today's generation, men are marrying their women not because of what our fathers married or what mature men are married. They're married for security purpose.
You have some too, because times have changed.
Yeah, you have some that aren't even married, and I don't even need you good. Like, now for me, I came up different. So for me, you gotta know how to cook.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But there's some men like, I don't care if she don't cook, we're gonna go out and eat. And that's what I got buddies who they like, we work and we make enough money to eat out. Now that's not me. My wife tell you, if I'm eating out, it's for her, because my delicacy is at home. You know what I'm saying? She know how to bring my ranch, how to bring my let's see inside. She know how to put it on, how to fold my wings. I didn't know they do that on the West Coast. Them West Coast women don't fold the chicken wing. Them Southern women, they fold the chicken wing. The chicken wing gets to your plate, they be sitting in Indian style. I never experienced that. So for me, but mind you, I'm young with an old soul. There's also young brothers that's like, we gonna get out. I know buddies that are married, they've been married 10, 11 years, they don't have no food in their refrigerator because they eat out and they are happy. So like I said, it's whatever works for your house and your situation. But I believe the balance must be in between. That's right. Whatever you do.
I totally agree. It's the same, that's how it is in my house. We balance, right, baby? We eat out a lot. We eat out a lot. Yes, I can cook.
You're good?
Yeah, I'm good. I can cook. I cook real good too. Real good. But because of our schedules, we stay gone so much. When I leave work 3 days a week, I'm in school. So it's like 9, 10 o'clock. When I get home, I work an hour away from home. I'm always on the go. In a rehearsal or singing or something. My husband works late, and so we make sure we eat, and it don't require me to be in the kitchen every day.
But you're not a stay-home woman.
No, I'm not a stay-home woman at all. I'm not a stay-home woman or a come-home woman, because by the time I get home, it's late. Okay, but there are other things that my husband do require of me.
Amen.
And cooking is not one of them. Okay, but we balance. We balance, my husband, I don't like to wash clothes, fold clothes, because it's like watching paint dry. My husband is military. He loves to do that. He loves it. He loves it. Certain things, I let him do what he likes to do. My husband will wash clothes every day. Every day. I mean, if the basket don't even have to be this full, he'll make a load. He will make a load. But that's one of the things I hate to do. You see what I'm saying? So it works for us. It works in my house. So, like you said, every house is different. You just have to find the balance. You have to find the balance.
I agree with what everybody is saying, because I found that I had to spend time with Jackie to know what I will accept, what I will allow, and what I won't allow.
Amen.
Now, my family tell you I am very anal, and that is I keep everything in order.
Yes, Lord.
I keep all my canned goods, my beans, my everything. So when you step into my house and you step into my life, you see that if you come in there and you see everything in my cabinets in order, even my clothes, they color coordinated, shoes, everything. But at some point in time, they do not, I have found, even I have talked to people, been married 20 and 30 something years, and found there is no communication. Or there are words that are left unsaid that should be said. And when you tell me something, I say, hold up, wait a minute. Where was the conversation where was this? You knew this when you got married, but when did you talk about it? See, I can look at these two and I can say, the Duffys, and say, they conversate. I watch and I learn. She watched, she learned him. He watched, he learned of her, of each other. But then they had conversations to say, she said, can you do while I do?
That's right.
And I said, when you don't do that, then there's something missing.
That's right.
I was married to a man, and I said, listen, when you come into my life, I come with luggage. I got a son. And if you're going to accept me, you got to accept him. But you're not going to mistreat him. And I'm not going to mistreat yours. So you got to come together and do it. You can't run around and say, oh, this is my child.
That's right.
That's her child. You raise yours. Because that was a conversation in our house. You raise yours, I'm going to raise mine. No, you talking about marrying me, we're going to raise them together.
Yes.
And I don't do mama dramas. And I don't want you to do daddy dramas. So you got to have conversations. And there are words, a lot of words that's left unsaid. And expect, even when you find it in older marriages or even younger marriages or today. And I'm like, well, what was the conversation?
Right.
Who talked?
That's right. That's everything. That's why we here tonight. We here to have a conversation.
And not a lack of.
That's right.
On the subject about marriage and stuff, I am not married, however, but I do have someone that I do love deeply. We've been on for about 15 years now, and I'm to the point. I am like, I'm just ready to. I don't make up my mind that I'm gonna let the relationship go because I keep trying to tell myself I can't, like Apostle just said, when a person is not where you at spiritual or wherever it is. And it's like, no matter how I try to talk to him about it, it's like, he's not, he always tell me, well, I'm different, I'm not like that. Or when it comes to the house and our kids, he feel like he's above me. I'm from the country, I'm from the deep wood country, and he's from the city. So I can see, and I have, he don't like to communicate with me. He's saying we're not, I'm trying to get a word, we're not compatible. And I'm like, so how can you date someone you're not compatible with? And then I'm like, so I'm from the deep country, so he kind of try to be better than I am. So I feel like I'm smart, you know what I'm saying? I've been in the military, did 13 years.
You smart.
You know what I'm saying? I'm getting a nursing degree, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like, if I'm taught, I know how to be with, and know how to have, and know how to be without, because we are taught how to survive. And you know what I'm saying? And when I'm going through things and he going through things, I can handle it more better than he can, but he always feel like he's above me and my kids, and that his kids and him is, So, it always something, when it comes to my kid, a little negative. And I try to overlook that because he's not where I'm at, spiritual and all that stuff. And then, when I try to tell him something, I know what I be saying is right because I'm from the old school. I hang around a lot of older men. So even when I was younger, a lot of my friends were maybe 10, 15 years older than me. Even to this day, and I learned a lot from older people because they teach you wisdom. And that's how I grew up. A lot of people thought I was older than what I was. But
let me say something to you, Shirley. First thing I do is, I'm going to rebuke that spirit of manipulation that will come to manipulate you for their purpose. I prayed early in this room, and as I was praying, that every soul will be set free. See, this night, 2 nights, is to come to set somebody free.
Yeah.
I don't believe that the man don't love you. What I believe is there is a spirit that's been connected to him, either by way of the last female he was dealing with that was angry and jealous, or whoever was in his past don't want to see you, or it can be that of a spirit of somebody who was in your past that don't want to see you happy. So they send forth word demons, and these demons start attaching your life, and likewise it can be an ex of theirs sending word demons that will attach this person's life so that you all will never come together and be a unit. So I rebuke the spirit of manipulation, and then I come against the spirit of intimidation. Because that's the job, and that's when you know the enemy have come in. Let me tell you how you know when word demons or spirits have been sent against a relationship. You start seeing a banana peeling syndrome. Whenever you see women and men, whenever you see the banana and layers are being peeled away and from it, know that that's a spirit that has been sent against the relationship, so that once it peel you away, because once the banana is exposed to the air, it begins to start rotting. But the longest it stays sealed up, it lasts longer. So I rebuke the spirit of manipulation and intimidation that's in that relationship. And then the next thing I want to do is I want to speak to the power of love that's in you. And I said something earlier in prayer. I said, sister that's broken, I want you to come forward because you're a winner. And I was calling stuff forward when y'all weren't even here. Glory to God. So today, I want to say to you, don't waste another energy on the relationship itself, but waste the energy on building the value and the volume of your love concerning you. Because see, when you raise up the value and make your love speak loud, intimidation, fear, manipulation can't speak and can't make no noise. You get what I'm saying? And the next thing is, I want to say to you, is that the call and the assignment on your life that is so powerful, the enemy oftentimes send in things way before we say yes to God. So that when we get ready to say yes to him, we so full of intimidation and frustration and aggravation. But tonight, I rebuke that spirit off of you, that when you get home, the peace of God shall abide in your presence. The peace of God gonna be in your home, and whatever don't want to be peace is either gonna become subject or gonna have to get out the way. Because watch this. I heard the Lord while you was talking say it's a battle on her mind. The enemy is trying to make you forfeit the value of your womanhood. And I decree and declare that you are a woman and a woman of God. And the value of who you are as a woman is coming alive tonight. It's coming alive tonight. You already got the tools. You already got the strategy. You just need to put it in action. Put it in action. Hallelujah. I don't doubt he don't love you, but he's battling. He's battling within his own self. Because there's sometimes, how long y'all been together?
I've been knowing him for 15 years, but we've been dating now we decided to get in a relationship when I transitioned back from Fort Knox to here.
Let me say this. A lot of times, we have to be careful when we get into relationships. Because we got the first, I tell people all the time, the church don't want you to date, but I tell you, date. Date is like interviewing. Date. Date, go to that mama's house, go to that daddy's house, see how they respond to their family members, see how they respond to the last woman that they had. Have a conversation, my God. Because I'm telling you something, if you don't, then all this stuff pops up in the midst of the relationship, and you be want to kill a booger, and then you be in prison locked up fighting for your virginity like that Barbara Stewart. I'm telling you, it'll be too late. But I want you to take time this year in this relationship and breathe. Because this thing is suffocating me. I want you to breathe. And while you're breathing, make your value, make your love value, turn it up. And your love for you will be so loud that the person that's loving you can't love you equally. Either two things gonna happen. Either he gonna upgrade or he gonna find him an exit door. And you have to be fine with that. Because guess what? You're a strong woman.
Yes.
And if I tell this to anybody, if somebody in your life can't match the value or the volume of the love that you have for yourself, that person don't need to be around you. Because what's happening is it's making your sons and daughters. You have sons?
I have one son, and my daughters, they're not, well, they in their own place, but my son is with me.
And then what happens is that sows seeds with him now. Don't worry about it. That sows seeds with him. Because what's going to happen is he's going to look at that, and then sometimes, I talked to a young man many years ago in Los Angeles. I said, why did you be with your girlfriend? He said, because I watched my mama get beat, and she stayed. She stayed. And so, if you watch your mother get beat and you hated it, why are you doing it? He said, because I thought she stayed because she loved him. So every person that beat her, she stayed. So I felt like if I beat my girlfriends, they're going to do what my mama did. Stay. I said, no, sir. I said, oh, girls, somebody's going to find you, put you 6 feet under. Or have you locked up in jail. And I say that to say, sometimes our sons, not all of them, they'll take the seed of what they see their mama go through. And they will repeat that in their relationships. Then there's some that will grow up and say, I don't want that. I come from an abusive family, and I watch all 8 of my uncles beat their wives because they saw their daddy beat their mama. And I used to say to them all the time, y'all hate it. Why y'all do it? You can't tell me you hate something and then you still do the thing that you hate. There's something wrong with that. I haven't got an answer yet, but I'm going to find it one day before I leave this world. But I watched my uncles beat their wives because they watched how their mother stayed there with their dad. So you can't allow your son to see any malfunction. I don't care if it's physical or just mental abuse. Abuse is abuse. Verbal, mental, whatever. Your children should not be able to see that. And they need to see a strong woman so he can be attracted to a strong woman when we start dating. But raise the value. Make the love for you become loud. Put on a loudspeaker and make it become loud. Love you when nobody else want to love you. Because loving you will make a person love you or leave you.
That's true. That's true.
That's why I love on me. Is that making sense to you? And remember this, nobody that loves you will devalue you. Because if you love me, you would not hurt me.
That's right.
Because the Bible says love working no ill.
That's right.
No ill. So if they love you, they won't devalue you.
That's right, sir.
And I want to, and I want to pronounce this over every pastor in this room. Every pastor in this room, I want to pronounce that over you. That if our people love us, they won't work ill against us.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
Because love don't work ill against nobody.
That's right.
Every marriage in this room, the power of love should be on a loudspeaker in your relationship.
Yes.
One thing I love about, and I thank God for the brothers in here that is married. You know, the brothers in here that is married. Before Pastor Murray married Lady Andrea, he was opening the doors. He was opening the doors for Lady Andrea, so to Ryan, Pastor Ryan started opening the doors and he wouldn't even marry. I said, John, what are you doing? Monkey see, monkey do. But I'm showing you something. That his illustration to his queen produced another brother say, that's how a queen's supposed to be treated. That's not downplaying, Pastor Ryan. That is what you're supposed to do with each other. Your love, his love, all you men love your wives so that all of us single men, that when we decide to get a wife, that we should be able to be mentees to the love of the mentors we saw.
Right.
Amen.
So that don't downplay Ryan from Murray from Ryan. No, I watch it every Sunday. I everywhere drive his wife to church and take her to church and be bothered with me after church when he be ready to go. He love his wife and he love his brother. You understand? That makes sense. So if I ever get married, I have to keep that in mind because I I seen brothers around me that showed me what love is.
All right.
I watched Pastor Murphy put some socks on when Sister Angel's feet was swollen up. Baby, mine swollen up too. Everything she was going through, he was manipulating it in the room. Imitating, in the room. He spoke to his son every day before he went to work. That's a sign of love, not lust.
Right.
See, and he'll wake MJ up in her belly every morning before he go to work. And one time she said, baby, don't do that. Because he'll be up all day. To now, MJ know when his daddy coming in.
Amen.
MJ had a wonderful relationship with his father because his father loved his mama while she was carrying him. Because these children hear. These children hear all these arguments while they're pregnant. While they're in the bellies of their mamas. They feel everything that their mamas are feeling. So men, when we make these women feel sad and rejected, the babies are feeling that too.
That's right.
MJ, you'll take it in a minute. My daddy gonna do it for me. Let's go say, no, my daddy gonna take me outside. Let's go take you back. No, my daddy gonna do it. Right. Lady Andrew said something. She said, no, my daddy gonna do it. She said, okay, fine, let's get with me. Because that's the nature of love. That's the manifestation of love. Because he spoke to his child. So MJ got to be a love child. And guess what? And when he get married, he's not going to marry somebody who's going to be opposite of his mother.
That's right. That's right.
And he's not going to be opposite of his father.
That's right.
Because of the nature of his development was the voice of unity.
Right.
Am I making sense to somebody? You got to unify yourself so your families can be healthy. And then we have healthy communities. What do you want to say, Lady Andrew?
I was just gonna piggyback on what you were saying to her about if someone loves you, they won't hurt you. But sometimes people hurt you and they don't know that what they're doing is causing hurt. And at that very moment, or whenever you open your mouth and you express that what you're doing is hurting me, out of love, they will correct that.
God bless you. That's good. She said something out of what?
Love.
Out of love. Because sometimes in a relationship, we don't know we're hurt.
Right.
Let me tell you something. As a pastor, I've heard some folks as a pastor. And they say, you hurt me, you said something across the pulpit. Now, some of their hurts was because they sin made them talk. Because a hit dog gonna holler. Some things was the nature of their sin. When you start talking about that sin part, they start barking. And they're upset with you. But then there were some things I did hurt people. But watch this. It wasn't purposely that I hurt them. It was because I took so many hits and somebody had to get this lick. Does it make it right? No, it didn't make it right. But at the time you launched out at your pastor had already taken enough hits that they, look, okay, come on now, Ella, what you want? This is not right now, it's not what you want, leave me alone. And because we're not sensitive enough to our leaders, and sometimes I say that to say because I'm not married, so I have to use leadership. So I said that to say what Lady Andrew said, sometimes things are done in marriages. And if you don't communicate, like Lady Jackie said, have a communication, then that mate won't know that what they're doing is okay. Now, if you don't have a communication and told that book, I don't like this, and they're still doing this, then guess what now? This ain't no love, I love you, hurt me. You're doing this on purpose. So I'm going to let you find the exit inside that door and find your mom. Yeah, come on, Nikki. Nikki, what's going to Sister Phyllis?
Okay, so you was talking about how MJ is going to come up and he's not, basically coming up in a whole household.
Right.
But with me, I came up in a broken household and I came up in a very violent household. So now being a young lady, I'm trying not to be, I'm going to not be violent like my mother was or how my family members was. So now as a young lady, I'm dealing with the pressures of ministry, the pressures of home, and the pressures of not being who my family was as I was growing up. So my question would be, how do you balance being a young person in the kingdom and balance your life, and also how do you deal with the pressures of being a young person in ministry?
And I'm glad because that is something for y'all tomorrow.
No, but it can be done.
Right. But what I want to say is, as parents, this is where we mess up.
Yeah.
I met a son out of wedlock, and my bishop told me not to touch that girl. He said, if you don't, you're going to cry later. That baby died with full-blown AIDS. As parents, we make mistakes.
That's right.
Ouch. Amen.
That's right.
And we got to first own up
To our shit.
to the mistakes that we made and be honest.
Right.
Listen, when I laid his mama down, and I can't hate her, I did at one point. I can't hate her because my father told me, don't touch that girl. Because if you do, you will cry later. And because I want to be a part of this clique that was inside of a church, I don't call it church cliques, because the church don't have cliques. But there's cliques that do come into church.
Right.
And they start clicking up. And because I want to be a part of that, Nikki, I want to be not the brown nose and the pastor's pet. So I became what they wanted me to become. Wow. And I laid up with that girl, not knowing that she was full-blown AIDS. And guess what? She wasn't obligated to tell me. Right. Because if she was an assignment to my demise, I should have obeyed my assignment to my resurrection.
All right.
It's a 50-50 thing. I should have protected myself. It's called a condom. I could have protected myself, not have sex with her at all. Come on, because the safest sex is no sex.
That's it.
So, but because I did that, Bishop, I gave birth to a son that I thought was a godson. Because she was dating a musician. So that volatile situation, why until this day, we don't know if he's dead or gone because we didn't see him anymore. But I buried a mama, and in 99, I buried a son at 13 years old. Because of a choice that I made. But here's the good thing, that my baby will ever live on in my heart. And I am motivated today by nobody else in my life but for Juan Smith. Because he told me one thing when he was dying. Daddy, I see you on the other side. Because you know why? I admit to him, me and your mama did this. This ain't your fault.
That's right.
Me and your mama did this. And I did not say to him, I'm sorry. I am sick of parents that's all want to say, I'm sorry. You right. You are sorry. Sorry people simply says this. Sorry means I'm good for nothing.
Right.
Never expect anything good to come out of me, and I will do it again.
Right.
So y'all need to stop saying I'm sorry. But when you become apologetic, you will sit in the seat of the individual pain and do everything that you can to make the pain be the pain no more.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something, when LaJuan was dying and the kidney was failing and came back up, when they took him off the life support system, I prayed. I laid in that hospital bed with him because that was my mess up. I did that. I was responsible for the life he's now living. And I was man enough to stand up there and make it right. And because I did that, Nikki, that boy loved me. Even from an eternity, he loves me. I know that's kind of, all flesh for some of y'all because we're deep, but not deep enough. Because the Bible says spirit was never born, therefore spirit never dies.
No.
So in that, I was man enough to stand up. I never called my son out of his name. I never called his mama out of her name, and I had a right to. She was 24, and I was only 17. I had a right to cuss her. I had a right. Because watch this. She had 3 babies before mine. And then 2 babies after mine, and they're not HIV positive. I had a right to be angry. But angry was not beneficial because my child was still sick and still dying. So being apologetic, I got in that bed with him. Being apologetic, I let him know I want to feel your pain so bad. I wish I could exchange my life for yours, the one. And as parents, we just got to be men and women and own up when we do something wrong and say, I apologize. We got to fix this. And own up where the wrong you did. Don't right your wrong. Don't right your wrong. Because sometimes right your wrong make the wrong still wrong. Just admit that that you did wrong. What can I do, baby, to fix this? And sometimes that child may say, I don't want to be bothered. You got to be bad enough and mother and father enough to back up. And let that child develop his hurt. Let that child develop his pain. And it was time that Lamar didn't want to be bothered with me. It was time that he said to me, you are the fault. Because that mama wasn't here to get that punishment.
Amen.
Oh, I wanted to slap him. I wanted to do a whole bunch of stuff. But you know what? I was the fault. Because I should have listened to my father when he told me not to touch her. So how to balance? First thing as parents, yo, we got to admit our wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
That's it. I did it.
And be honest with our children. And tell them why we did what we did. And we did what we did. I did what I did because I didn't want to be called the pastor pet no more.
Right.
I didn't want to be the church brown noser. I wanted to be important and valuable like everybody else.
Right.
And what happened? I now had to deal with a loss of a child. And is it funny? She had 2 more kids after me, after mine, and they're still alive. But every day I had to live to know that that boy was laying in his grave. And it was not until, Nikki, when Phyllis and I, in 2008 or 9, had to go back to New Orleans for the exhume his body. And Pastor Tracy, I put her in a steel casket. And I put mine in a box. Because at the time I didn't have money. I was pastoring. I didn't have the money to bury him. So when they pulled him up, he fell out of the box because the water from Katrina had rotten the box up. I hit that floor. And I said, God, what are you doing? He said, you've been preaching with holes in you. Now I'm making you whole.
Thank you, Jesus.
I'm going to fill the breaches that's in the wall. And when they pulled her up and then to open up that casket, I had to release forgiveness.
Yeah.
Because if not, that would have killed me. Because unforgiveness is like a cancer.
Yes, it is.
So, Nikki, you have to take where you came from and use it as a stepping stone and see where you're going.
Yes.
Because listen, everybody in this room, where we come from is not who we are.
That's right.
We got to use that thing as a platform and stand on it and say, I'm going farther than this. And if it hurts you that bad, you don't repeat what hurt you to somebody else. You don't repeat that to somebody else. And God did that. I'm gonna tell you something, because He knew your shoulders were strong enough.
All right.
Don't ever think God didn't do it because He was punishing you. You've been punished. Know your strength. Listen, can I ask y'all to repeat this? My strength made this happen.
My strength made this happen.
My strength made this happen because I'm strong after this thing. When I came about this thing, to be raped, to be left with stitches on the inside and outside, to have to eat ice cream and popsicles and grits and oatmeal for 3 years because I couldn't eat solid food, to the place I had to constantly go back and have surgery to remove stuff.
My God.
I could have hated the person that did it. But the person called me to the bedside of his dying bed and said, I heard that you preach well. Preach my funeral. And at the foot of the bed, I said, at least say you're sorry.
Okay.
I didn't get a sorry. I didn't get an apologize. All I got was, I heard you can preach good. Preach my funeral. I got to the elevator. He closed his eyes. And I had to stand over him and preach as if he never did me anything.
All right.
Because see, true forgiveness will never make you whole pain on the inside of you.
Amen.
Oh my God, I'm learning this every day of my life. True forgiveness make you not hold that pain. So every day I have to learn how to forgive. Because if I don't, I'll be behind this wall that I built with unforgiveness of people. And forgiveness is not for them. It's for me. Because people are living rent free in your head.
Yes.
I want to say something that's very important. This is setting the platform for tomorrow, and I don't want to give too much away, but it's necessary for the house because it's not just for the young people. The key thing that she asked was, how do I balance? And what I find in Kingdom is the thing that we're dealing with is in our balance, that's making us imbalanced is we're trying to balance our expectations of what happened to us, or what we expect from the individual who did what they did to us. For many people, that's an apology, or I'm sorry. So you're trying to balance what I could have been, what I should have been, why this happened to me, with your purpose. When all along everything that took place in your life was only sharpening you for your purpose. And it gets to the point that I've learned this. You may never get an apology. You may never get a shoulder to cry on. And so it's your job to stand up and give the eulogy to what crippled you in the first place.
Yes, Lord.
I tell people all the time, I didn't have a horrible childhood, but I'm a PK at heart. My mama was a traveling evangelist, all of that good stuff. When my mama came to the Family Life Conference, we talked in a meeting with the adults, and she admitted how we didn't communicate. I never let anybody bash my mama, and I'll never bash her, because you know why? I forgave her, and there were hurtful things that happened, and some questions I'll never get answers to. But I realized that was her hurt. Sometimes when things happen to us, that's their hurt talking.
Right.
And sometimes when an individual is not mature enough to deal with their hurt, no matter how holy they may be, no matter how saved or how mature, because remember, everybody that's an adult ain't grown.
Right. Yes, God.
You have a lot of kids living in big bodies.
Yes.
And we see them every day. And we see them every day. They need more attention than the babies.
That's right.
But I learned, and God dealt with me on how to give the eulogy to the thing that crippled you, to the thing that you're expecting stuff from, that's never planning on coming back saying I'm sorry, because they didn't mean to do it in the first place, and in their mind don't even realize that that's what happened. Because everybody got a truth.
That's the truth.
That's the truth.
Everybody has a truth. Even the murderer, he has a truth. May not be right in your eyes, but in his eyes, he has a truth. The Bible says that mercy may be found for a man that's stealing to provide for his family.
Yes.
Don't make it right that he's stealing, but he got a truth to why he's taken from somebody else. This is the night, and tomorrow night is the platform for us to stand up and to say, you know what, it happened, and it hurt, but I'm giving the benediction to it. I'm performing the eulogy myself, and I'm putting this thing in the grave, and it's no longer going to haunt me, it's no longer going to taunt me, and I don't have to balance it. You don't have to balance the imperfections of what happened to you.
Wow.
You don't have to balance that. That's not yours to balance. That's not even you. So I don't deal with family issues that don't have nothing to do with me. That ain't me. The man that people see me become didn't come from the makeup of my family. God did this.
That's right.
The father that you see me am, the husband, I didn't see this. God did this. Why? Because he taught me how to give eulogies. He made me a coroner. He made me a mortician. He said, I'm going to teach you how to fix stuff up as it enters your life. And I'm going to teach you how to start new beginnings and start new trends. So it's possible, because you are the generational curse breaker.
That's right.
The reason why some people can't tell us they're sorry, because psychologically they're not there. The reason why some people repeat cycles is because it does something to them psychologically that bends their mentality. And it makes them think, bends their conscience, and makes them think and do things a certain way. It's not that they wanted to. Some predators deep down inside are hurting.
Yes.
And what we have to learn to get over is stop wishing that people would suffer more than they already are. Because some people's conscience is eating them up every single night. Proof. What's the difference between Peter and Judas? Peter repented.
That's right.
Judas felt guilty.
That's right.
And because his conscience ate my life. Some people that you think should deserve a far greater punishment from God, they kicking themselves every day because their life is in shambles. God is saying, vengeance is mine. They're mine just like you're mine. I'm trying to save them just like I saved you. The good thing is now you've been awakened to the choice that you have to be better. They still are asleep to that choice. That's it. You've been awakened to the choice that I don't have to do that. They're still asleep to it. And because you're awake, you must now be accountable, and you must continue to give the eulogy to everything that will try to creep in, everything that will try to come in and cause havoc, or that will try to transfer to your seed. See, I tell people, my son knows he's not an inconvenience. Right. And most of us outward inconvenience. And much as parents didn't want to tell us about it, we felt it. We knew we were bothering you. We was getting on your nerves. You was wishing that you made a different decision. We came out of old granddad and Coke situation. It was some Jodeci plan is how we got here. But he's a son of purpose.
Yes.
Because he was timed.
Right.
He was prayed here. He was, curses was broken before he can even be a thought. Huh?
That's the truth.
We get it. We can't go back and jump back in the womb and say, we need you to break this stuff off me. No. Now I'm here. Now you got to break it. And guess what? Some of us are going to be the reason why they break it.
That's right.
Some of us is going to be the reason why mama and them get free. Because they don't say, God dog it, I wasn't strong enough to tell you I'm sorry, and you strong enough to forgive me still.
There you go.
Because the power of forgiveness is not for them. It's for you.
It's for you.
We're walking around broken because we're trying to hold stuff that don't belong to us. That's not mine.
That's right.
I'm a lover. I don't have hate. I refuse to let people make me hate because I'm not a hater. I may not like you right now.
Right.
I may not want to deal with you anymore. But I'm not a hater. And you won't allow me to, you won't make me house hate because I'm a lover. And so you can't allow what happened to shape you and to make you become it. So it's things that my wife don't never have to experience, my son never have to experience, because why? I decided to give the eulogy to
There
him.
you go.
And I decided, and I'm piggybacking on everything that's been said, I decided to say, God, it's possible. Do it through me. I'll be the example. And that's what an example is. It's a model. It's a model. It's sometimes, and it's rare. That's why the Bible calls you peculiar.
That's right.
People don't even see it coming. Most trailblazers, you're real weird. People don't understand you. You know, you're normally the type to eat locusts and honey and you live out in the wilderness. People call you wild men. Most trailblazers that change the game are the ones who didn't fit in anyway because you were born to stand out. So give the eulogy to what crippled you tonight. Make that decision in your mind that I'm not balancing the imperfections of my past or my childhood, because that's not my portion. My portion is life, good health, joy, peace, long suffering. My life is the fruits of the Spirit. And then you begin to rehearse those things. You begin to rehearse those things. And you begin to say, I am this. I am this. I can do this. And before you know it, it becomes you. And you start seeing yourself separate from everything that you were resembling, which was never you in the first place. You only resembled it because it was feeding you. But now if you change what's feeding you, you'll take on a different reflection.
Good. Amen. Somebody else? Oh, wait.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I was just going to piggyback off what you all had already said. This is to Nikki as far as giving the eulogy and knowing that God knows your strength and all. Everything that has been said is awesome. But also I know, like, in psychology, they talk about when babies are born, they have a blank slate.
Right.
So their environment, their parents, all of that they see is poured into them. But the difference between a baby and you is the baby doesn't have a choice of what's being deposited into them.
Right.
So you have a choice of what you allow to be deposited into you. So you know that you are not what you come from. What's the scripture when you come into Christ? You're a new creature.
Right.
All old things are passed away. So you are a new creature. Your past is of you no more. You have a blank slate, and you get to accept what you let be imparted into you.
Yes. Yes.
That's good, wife.
So what do you do when you get the apology and you still look at that person and hold the bitter and the hatred?
Well, I gotta answer. Can I answer? No, because we deal with this, and this is real.
I'm sorry,
Watch
but
this.
I apologize. Forgive me.
So here's the thing. This is what I love about how God makes you look at yourself. Then the problem is really you.
That's right.
Okay.
You have people that talk this love talk.
That's right.
And we can preach forgiveness. And we can talk. He can do it, but he can't do it for me.
Right.
It's because everybody Jesus ever spoke to, it was a command, and then it was a obedience, and then it was law. Go dip.
Right.
After the dip, now the healing.
Right.
Stretch out your hand. You tell me, I don't want to stretch it out. Well, then you're going to continue to look like Jurassic Park. Stretch out your hand. Go dip. Watch this. Because God has dealt with me with this. Because for leaders always, we blame everybody. Every time something wrong, it's the church fault. It's the people. The people made me do it. That was Moses' fault.
That's right.
And so you went through 40 years, didn't realize that God was trying to process anger out of you.
That's right.
You went through 40 years, and you missed your right to grow up. Now, if you ask me, he was one of the leaders of next to Apostle Paul who never did no wrong.
Right.
Prior to killing the man, prior to his calling.
Right.
He was wonderful.
Yeah.
Preach heaven down, go up there, hat turned white, all that. He had the Don King going and everything. But he had one little issue. I'm so anointed that my issue is still overtaking me. So every time they do something, I'm mad at them when really God is saying, look at you, get it out of you.
My God.
Stop blaming people for what God is trying to make you see lives inside of you.
Yes.
40 years. And watch what happened. If he was in tune with all that going up to the mountain, he would have realized God was trying to get all the people that was making your head turn gray out the way anyway. God wanted you to go over with Joshua.
That's right.
And you could have just been an advisor.
That's right.
But you couldn't even go over you couldn't even go over with your heir because you was too angry.
Right.
And he dealt with me because I always ask myself, God, why can't we get past this? Why are we still here at this?
Right.
He said, because it was never for the people, it was for Moses. I knew who they were, and he was getting all of his stripes. And what did God say? And I'm done. He said, because you broke your faith before the people. So watch this. Most leaders say, well, why the hell you didn't get them?
Yeah,
I was. Watch this. Watch this, Pops. He was, because none of them made it over.
That's right.
That's right. That's right.
See, we be too busy upset with people and what they punishment supposed to be.
There you go.
Hello. Let me tell y'all something. I recently had to literally dismiss some people. Right. And I did it so with love. And the individual had the nerve to text me and say, I apologize for the part I played, and I hope you can forgive me. And guess what I said? After all the hell that they brought, I said, oh, I forgive you. Right. I'm just disappointed in you. But I do hope you have a blessed and prosperous life. See, I'm a man of God. You won't ever take this and say, oh, he ain't forgive. Oh, I forgive him. Forgiveness ain't the issue. Right. You just broke codes of conduct. Right. See, so now I'm not wearing that. I'm not going to let you make me wear hate, make me wear unforgiveness. Make me wear, no, I'm still going to be me, and I'm going to love on the next person that come along that the Lord told me to love. But God is trying to help us. He is. When you're dealing with stuff, it ain't just for your mama, your dad, your genealogy. It's for you.
That's right.
Because somewhere, when I look at this little stubborn boy, this impatient boy,
Yes.
I get down on my knees like this.
Yes.
Because I don't ever want to be afraid of anybody. And I talk to him with love. And when he's impatient, crying because he can't take off his pants, I say, sit down, son. Pull it this way. And when he pull it off and I see the smile on his face, I say, look how I helped Murray come out of something. Because his daddy's impatient. His daddy and mama real stubborn. So when I see him being stubborn, don't want to do certain stuff, I got to say it over and over and over again. Because I'm dealing with me.
That's right.
I don't whoop him out of hate.
Right there.
I don't whoop him out of disgust. I chastise him because it's biblical. And you need to know what's right and what's wrong. You need to know discipline, balance, and order. But I understand, son, I'm processing me.
Yeah.
We love to process everybody else, and we still bound.
Come on. Yeah.
Oh, you get free, but I'm over here dying. No, help me. Like Lord said, help me.
Yes.
I'm never too good. I tell the people, pray for me. Yeah, I hear all that good stuff. Y'all got all these kudos for Pastor Murray. Pray for me.
That's right.
Right. Yes, Watch coming. I don't want to hear all the accolades. You get caught up in accolades. Accolades will push you right off the cliff. It's called pride. Pray for me.
Love the accolades, sir.
And when somebody pray for you, you know what I do? I go in there and I tell him, lay your hands on my head, son. And I say this. All is well, Daddy. I teach him how to sow back into a soul. And I say, yes, Lord, I receive it.
Yes, God.
God is trying to deal with the body. So when they apologize and it still ain't enough, that's because most people in this room, if the person you think should apologize come back, it still won't be enough. You know why? Because the real issue is you.
That's it.
You're the Moses that God is trying to process before you get into his new place. Get Egypt out of you so you can embrace your promise.
Yes, God. Yes, God.
That's good.
I did apologize.
I'm done.
I did apologize. Okay? And it was years, maybe about a week ago, before my apology was accepted. Okay? I have 6 children. 3 of them, the first 3 didn't live in the household with me and the other 3 children. Okay? Because I had the first 3 very young. At that time, I was still growing and, trying to go to school and all this other stuff. So I did what I thought was best. I let them live with their dads, who had help. They had their sisters there, their mamas there. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here trying to find a job and get my own place. But then, by the time I had the second hand, my mama called them batch 1 and batch 2. Amen. By the time I had the second batch, I had matured, and it was like, if we got to eat beans out of a can, my children are going to stay with me. Okay? So the second 3 was always with me. When times were good, when times were bad, when times were hard, it didn't matter. They were always with me because I wouldn't let nobody else get my children. So the other 3 grew up thinking, well, why they get to stay with her? Okay? Now, mind you, the other 3 was at my house every weekend. They was there every summer. All the vacation, they're in the pictures. So it wasn't like I dropped them off on some steps and never went back. They were there. If you see all 6 of my children together, you would never think that they grew up in separate households because their bond is so tight, okay? So about a week ago, my oldest son, and Pastor Murray knows about this, was going through, I ain't gonna call it a crisis, I'm gonna call it a deliverance. Amen. And he was going through some things, and he sent me a text, brought me to tears. Now, I've been apologizing to these children a long time. When they got older, I told them why I did what I did. I explained to them, set them down, said, listen, this is what happened. This is why this had to be this way. This is why this had to be this way. Okay? I spent a lot of years trying to do what we call ourselves doing, making it up to them. You know what I'm saying? Just let them get away with stuff. Making sure they, and so finally, when I got mature and I got older, I said, listen, I don't owe y'all nothing else.
That's right.
Okay? Either you're going to forgive me or you're not. The only thing I owe you is to love you. That's it. Y'all not going to keep running. You're not going to keep holding this over my head. You're not going to keep using this against me. You see what I'm saying? Exactly. I done lived with this long enough. I'm done with this. Y'all go to hell with it. That was my attitude. Okay? So, we got through that. And all these years, our bond has been so close. Okay? So I'm thinking that everything is good, except with one we still working with. This one loves me, but not like the other children do. Okay? It just is what it is. Okay? But I don't pressure her. I don't pressure her. I'm there for her when she needs me, if she calls me, but I ain't kissing, I'm not, it just is what it is. I love you. I do. And I'm your mama. And I'll be there for you if you need me to do. But you held on to this long enough, okay? I need you to, let's have a conversation. If we need to have a conversation, let's have a conversation. If you don't want to talk about it, you don't want to deal with it, I'm going to go my way and you go your way, okay? We got to that point, came back together again, and the bond is getting closer. Praise God. Hallelujah. But I found out last week, my son sends me a text, and he says, Mom, I got something I need to get off my chest. Okay, I'm like, go ahead, by all means, I want to know what's bothering you. And he says to me, I've been holding this grudge against you all these years.
Wow.
All these years, okay? And so, my first thought was, I said, boy, what's really wrong with you? You know, because I know you're going through some other stuff. I said, what's really wrong with you? Because in my mind, I'm thinking, now I know this boy, you know, as good as I am to him and to his child, I know you're not still walking around holding this against me. Okay? But who are we to say what our children are going through? We don't know.
Right.
We just don't know. Okay? So my thing is, let me stop what I'm doing and give you my full undivided attention, because this is my child and I want to make sure my child is okay. I'm praying, Lord, let me get my spirit right so that I can say the right thing, because I don't want to push him away. You know, I want him to be healed. This is my baby we talking about. So he says to me, he said, I've been holding this against you. Listen, because of the right response. And the right response is, even though I apologized 10, 15 years ago, I took the wrong again. And I took it for the last time. I believe this was the last time. But I took it again. Because obviously when I said I apologized 10, 15 years ago, he wasn't mature enough to receive it.
There you go.
He wasn't mature enough. You see what I'm saying? Because a lot of times you don't know what an apology is until you grow up and you start going through your own trouble.
And you want somebody to forgive you.
Exactly. I didn't forgive my mama until I got grown and had my own children. My mama didn't have to apologize to me. I went to her and said, Sugar, I'm sorry. She didn't even have to say nothing. Okay?
See?
So, he didn't get it 10, 15 years ago. So he comes to me a week ago and said, Mama, I forgive you. I forgive you. And I said, well, thank you, baby. I said, but tell me what you're feeling. And he said, well, all this time I really wanted to be with my mom. All the time I was with my dad, and I was kind of hurt because, you know, the other ones were with you, and it was me who wanted to be with you.
Sorry,
and,
I'm having
trouble with the connection.
Please try again in a moment.
You know, I always